Would you like to combine shields like in the 0 Hour cinematic or make out? Well, I added team up abilities to let you live out your dreams for every hero in Overwatch up to Freya. And you can play the game mode with the code on screen, but please like and subscribe since it helps a lot, and comment down any team up abilities that you would add into Overwatch. I should specify before we start that I did these team up abilities a little bit differently than in Marvel Rivals. In Rivals, you typically have an anchor hero and a secondary hero. The anchor hero gives the secondary hero some cool ability, and in return, the anchor hero gets a small buff. I decided to make my version a little more interesting and attempted to give every hero a new thing to do rather than just a stat boost. As an example, Genji and Kiriko have Shimada training. They use each other's techniques and weapons by having Genji be able to backstep enemies for 150 damage, and Kiriko is now able to double jump like Genji. Speaking of Genji, Genji was very difficult to pair with someone since there were so many combos with him. So as I said earlier, comment down below what heroes you would have teamed up, since there is a genuine chance I'm going to do this again, but with completely different combinations. Next up is the most iconic team up, being Reinhardt and Brigitte with their combined shields. This team up is inspired by the 0 Hour cinematic, and it had to make it in. The one issue with this change is that it's kind of boring to play as, and didn't have much practical use. So, if Brig's shield bashes while their barriers are together, she will cause an explosion around her. However, if Reinhardt charges while their shields are up, he will turn into a race car. Next up, we got the classic Deadlock gang with Ashe and Cassidy. I decided to ask Nox for this one, and he wanted Cassidy's role to act like Ashe's coach gun and knock people back. Far. I also made Flashbang do a minor burn because it looks cool. And since Cassidy's share of the team-up abilities are a little bit silly, I decided to make Ashe shoot Coach Gun 6 times like Fan the Hammer. At first, I thought this would be a boring change, but it ended up being my personal favorite. Next up is one that I was worried about doing, and that was Ana and Pharah. Another content creator named Popcorp basically did the idea I wanted to do for them by giving Ana little booster boosts. So instead, you can now make your Grandma airborne by tethering yourself to Pharah. Grandma stocks are rising around the world. Anyways, Pharah has injected Ana's sleeping medicine into her concussive blasts. If you hit someone dead on, they will be forced to go to Sleepyville. After that, we got Sigma and Zarya with the powers of the universe. They exchange each other's knowledge on sucking, and Sigma now is able to suck someone with his kinetic grasp, and Zarya is now able to make people float with her secondary fire. Oh, also, these two have some of the most universe-breaking ultimates in the game, so if you use them both at the same time, everyone dies. Okay, have fun! Now moving on to old soldiers, we have Soldier 76 and Sojourn. For Sojourn, I gave her a Helix rocket when you slide. It's one of the more simple changes, but it's fun. And for Soldier, I made it so he can leap after a second and a half of running. This is supposed to simulate what Sojourn does during the end of her slide. However, Helix Rocket does 50% more damage during that jump. This one's also a little bit of a simple change, but it was really fun hitting the mid-air rockets. After that, we got Fire and Ice with Illari and Mei. Illari is able to freeze people on her final bullet, and Mei will ignite enemies on her final ammo. This is one of the more boring ones again, but I wanted to make sure that freezing and burning wouldn't happen too often or be too overpowered since it's annoying. So I thought Illari freezing on the last bullet would be a funny way to troll people, while Mei burning on the last ammo would be fun to try and land. Next up, we got Instant Respawn with Dva and Sombra. With Interact, Dva can now immediately leave her mech whenever she wants. Also, she will get her mech right back after 10 seconds. The goal of this is just to let you crush enemies whenever you want, so have fun doing that. And then Sombra with Interact, you can fake your own death and you will respawn after 5 seconds in the same place. Do be careful though, since you won't have any of your abilities when you respawn. For Hanzo and our new hero Freya, we have the Assassins. Hanzo is now able to pause in the air while aiming down sight for 1.5 seconds, and Freya has implemented Hanzo's old scatter arrows into her bow. Particularly, when she hits a target, a couple bounty arrows will fly out and hit other people. Next up are the Junkers with Junker Queen and Hammond. Whenever someone dies, they will drop scrap. The scrap can then be used to fill out Junker Queen and Hammond's scrap meter. They can then go up to each other, press Interact, and they will heal each other and reduce their cooldowns with the scrap. The idea with this one was basically that Junker Queen would hold the front line and then Hammond would just collect scrap in the enemy's back line, and then Hammond could quickly come back to Junker Queen, heal her up, and then Junker Queen could also heal him up. I've got no idea if this is a good synergy or not, but we'll see. After the Junkers though, we got the Scrappers, which is kind of ironic because I just added a scrap ability with the Junkers, but we're just gonna move on. The Scrappers are Junkrat and Roadhog, and if Junkrat and Roadhog emote together, they will place a trap on the ground. If an enemy steps on the trap, it will explode, and there will be a hole in the ground until another trap goes off. It's like a mobile Ilios well hole wherever you want for Roadhog. Next up, we have the creatures from outer space, being Juno and Winston. Juno can now deal damage by landing on people with her double jump like Winston's leap, but the really fun one is Winston. When Winston emotes while having his ultimate, he will now summon a nuclear bomb onto his position. And because I'm evil, it hits teammates. Speaking of nukes, we have Rock and Bomb with Venture and Tracer. Whenever Tracer has her ultimate, she can emote near Venture to strap it to them. Then Venture will detonate after 8 seconds. Also, just because I wanted to add something a little extra, as Venture, you can scoop up Tracer while digging underground. Next up, we got Bastion and Orisa as
the ultimate death machine.
Whenever Bastion goes into sentry form near Orisa, Bastion will now sit on top of Orisa's head for the duration. Bastion will also take 35% less damage, while Orisa will have a 0 cooldown javelin throw. I'm pretty sure this might just be a little bit overpowered, but it's also why it's called the
ultimate death machine.
Now let's do something a little more tame. For Moira and Reaper, we have genetic limits. Reaper can now disperse himself, creating a dust cloud that hides him and his teammates within it for a couple seconds. Moira, on the other hand, when she fades, she will also fade her teammates within range for 1 second. This ability was kinda boring though, so I may have secretly added the ability to go through walls with it. This may or may not be super utterly busted, but I don't care. Moving on though, we got Baptiste and Mauga being old pals. They can make out. They will aggressively start kissing each other. They are smacking their face together so aggressively and masculinely that they will start healing over time, and anyone who looks at them will be stunned for 2 seconds. Have fun masculinely kissing. Next up is a classic Talon pairing with Doomfist and Widowmaker. With the Doomfist, if your Widowmaker is looking at you, your movement speed will increase dramatically, making your punch launch people. While as Widowmaker, you can fully charge a new meter that will deal a guaranteed 224 damage. I've got no idea how useful Widowmaker's change will be, but I mostly did this combo as an excuse to let Doomfist hit people at the speed of sound. After that, we got Hard Light Gambling with Symmetra and Lifeweaver. I needed to add at least one gambling change. While emoting together, you will combine your Hard Light to make one of 3 things. Either you will temporarily become invincible in a bubble, you will make a battering ram that will deal damage and knock people back, or you will blow up instantly. Next up is an awkward combo with Lucio and Hazard. Lucio, while wall riding, will now drop Hazard spikes on top of people, and on top of that, when he drops the beat with his ultimate, a bunch of spikes will shoot out and knock people back. Meanwhile, Hazard has more knockback. Man, I just really like knockback today, don't I? Well, luckily, the next one doesn't increase knockback since it's Mercy and Echo. This change is a bit of a deep dive since I tried doing something like this a long time ago, but it didn't work because I was really bad at the workshop. So now, Mercy will finally be able to wield a sword. When Echo and Mercy emote together, Echo will turn into Genji's blade, and then Mercy will be able to go on a stabbing spree for 6 seconds. But the only real downside is that Echo will lose her ultimate every time you do it. Otherwise, have fun shanking people. And finally, we have Zenyatta and Ramattra. Many people suggested that Ramattra should heal with his ultimate while Zenyatta should deal damage, but that's just a little bit too simple for me. So instead, Ramattra can hold out his hand to Zenyatta and both of them will start floating, while Zenyatta can sacrifice himself with an emote to enrage Ramattra and give him a damage boost and temporary self-heal. If Ramattra gets a kill within 9 seconds, Zenyatta will then be resurrected next to him. However, you may have noticed that I actually missed a singular hero. Torbjorn was an outlier since, in a way, I actually had too many options with him since he's an engineer and you can theoretically do kind of anything with him. So I made this very simple. If you emote with your Torbjorn, you will become a Torbjorn yourself. And for every extra Torbjorn on your team, your hammer will do that amount of damage more. Meaning that if you have 6 Torbjorns, you will do 6 times more damage with your hammer. And that seems fair and balanced to me. Thanks for watching, and something I've been forgetting to mention is to ask people to join my Discord. Please do that since I've slowly been running out of people to test the custom games with, and I like doing that. It's actually sort of a sad time to join since we just finished our Minecraft server, but that's my bad for not completing a video while it was up. But anyways, like and subscribe. Maybe we'll do a Minecraft server over the summer, who knows. And I'll see you guys probably this summer, speaking of, when the next video is out. See ya!